Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and once again it is time for a squat and deadlift day. But a quick reminder for those of you who watch these videos, please remember to click like down below. Would be greatly appreciated. And if you're on Facebook, please remember to give me some stars. So getting into the point where I can kind of get the bar in position again on these, still get my thumb around the bar, which is kind of important for me for stability. So I'm doing pause squats. And I'm just working these up. I'm just going to do these to a training max. I do need to push my hips back a little bit more so that I can reach depth. But again, I'm not super happy with these depths, but I'm going as wide as possible now because, again, I get the best strength out of the bottom. I have the best potential to reach depth when I go wide, which we can kind of see when I do the belt squats. So trying to take these out real wide, and the reason why for me it's easier to get depth, and again I'm still not hitting what I would like there. The reason for me is because I can get my shin more vertical, okay, and it actually makes it a lot easier on my quads. Lets me use all my hip extensors to squat. In a lot of ways, I kind of agree with Louis Simmons when he talks about a box squat almost feeling like a hamstring curl, because when you go real wide like this, it does, and it emphasizes posterior chain more. Deadlifts today, they felt heavy, and it felt almost like my grip was a little slippery. I didn't like that today. Now, granted, it's because it was slow. Like I said, the fatigue is starting to mount up with some of the deadlifts, but it's the weekend. I'm going to get plenty of sleep in. Again, got to get recovery. I've dealt with a lot of stress and stuff lately, and that is impacting that. So I almost wasn't able to hold that lockout. That's the reason I dropped it so quick. I got to the lockout, but I felt like my grip was going to slip. It didn't, but it felt like it was going to. So I think what I'm going to need to do is more grip work on my lower days. I need more grip work on the lower days. And we're just going to progressively overload all these other movements. That's the way I need to go. I do want to start working the glute bridges in. So the things that I feel like I probably need at this point are grip work and glute bridges. Like these other things are going to be always staples for me. The belt squat, glute ham raise, reverse hyper, always staples. But for just a little bit on the lower days, that's kind of all I've been doing. And I need to progress these a little more. So bringing that weight up and doing the pauses with fives with the wide stance. Again, I want to get carryover to that pause squat. I need to get strong in that bottom position so that I can get the hips open the way that I need to reach the depths I need. But that 435 was not heavy today. Like, it was relatively easy. But the issue is, even with a pause, it wasn't really at the optimal depths I would like, even going into a pause. So I'm not even trying to hold it. So I've got to sink deeper. And in order to get comfortable sinking deeper, I need to be doing stuff like this. Got to build those muscles to be strong out of those positions. So doing pause work here is going to help. It's going to help here a lot. Because again, I need to be able to get the hips open. So I've got to drive those knees out. So we'll get the carryover we want there. And I'm going to be pause squatting 500 before long. It's going to happen real quick. I'm just going to bring it up every session a little bit, but I'm also going to work on that depth. And I think the warm-ups, I'll get a little better with it on the ramp up. But I don't do a lot of reps on any of these movements. So people are thinking, oh, you didn't show us all your warm-ups. Yeah, I showed you most of it. Not big on warming up. And I think particularly for me, because the bar is so uncomfortable up on top of my back these days getting into position, I don't want to do a lot of warming up with the squat. I really don't. And it's just not necessary. I've pulled 500 as a first rep in meets on deadlifts, for example. So, but I do think here, grip work and glute bridges. I did the extensions today, the leg extensions with the bands, but I may not need those for long because the glute bridges will replace some of the extra quad work, particularly the deep position, which is really what I need. These are just nice for the knee health. They're nice to get the extra volume in because I'm doing lower reps with the belt squats. So here though, we're doing 6s on the glute ham raise using a weight. These were not that challenging. I love reps in the tank. I mean, they were challenging, but not that challenging. I probably could have done a couple more reps on every set. All right, here I'm like, let me do just a little bit of grip training. My grip is feeling just rough today in general, but I'm like, let me just grab these calibrated plates because these are smooth. Do some of that. And I think what we'll do maybe next lower day, we'll work in multiple sets of those, along with maybe doing some glute bridges, right? I think that would be a good idea. I think I can recover from it. We're at that point where we can recover. But I do feel like I've had 2 deadlift sessions where the grip felt slippery, others where it felt really strong. Even had over a 600 lift a couple weeks ago that felt really good. But, I just feel like the grip needs more work. Now, the fact that I'm progressing on rows on the upper days will help. The fact that I've rotated hammer curls back in, that's all going to help. But if I'm at a point where 585 feels slippery, no matter how fatigued you are or what's going on, it's irrelevant. That's too light of a weight to be slippery in my hands. Like, how am I going to pull 650 in a meet if I can barely hold on to 585 on a bad day? That's a problem. That's a problem. So, we fix it with some extra grip work. And it doesn't take a lot. You can overtrain your grip really easily. That's something guys need to be aware of. Has to be added in gradually. But I think that's what will probably help. Again, keep focusing on trying to get deeper on those pause squats. They're doing good on the belt squat machine. So I just need to transfer that to the bar. But that's a positioning issue, isn't it? And I think anyone who squats heavier and knows biomechanics understands what I mean. I've got to push the hips further back. That will give me depth. Got to make sure I'm willing to lean forward with that torso. Again, get into those positions. And once we're there, we're good to go. Once I get the practice in, and I think another week or so of just practicing the pause squats, they'll start sinking in deeper to depth. Just got to get used to getting into the right position again. Get used to that bar sitting on my back with a straight bar. And it'll be back in no time. And then we'll be hitting PRs. But yeah, here we did the leg extensions, and I'll probably pull these out when I add glute bridges in. We won't need them anymore. And I'll probably do that and maybe more different pinch work on this day for the grip training. And we should be good to go. But overall, productive session. Got a lot of quality work in here. Getting stronger on the belt squats and things with those pauses. So everything's moving along. I complain a lot, but I really, in a lot of ways, the training is going in the direction I need it to. We just problem solve as we go. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys next time.